Welcome everyone to another episode of The Bright Side. Today we are here in Bodmin Jail, just situated on the cusp of Bodmin Moor. It was built in 1779 by this guy, Sir John Cole, and it closed in 1927. Now there's supposed to be lots of spooks and spectres and ghosts in this place, so let's go check it out. Okay, so we just entered the courtyard. There's like the main prison building and the gift shop that'll be on the way out later on, and all newly built. This is the entrance in there, you get your tickets, etc. We go in through there. So we had pre-bought our tickets online last night, for what, £42 and change?
Yeah, so
that was for
you, me and Tilly. AJ, because he's under 4,
yep,
he was free.
Yes, excellent. So this is a pretty grim place. In the 148 years of its active life, about 50 people were hanged here. Yeah, nice. Hey, Future Bryce here. I just wanted to cut in at this point just to give an advisory. Some of the scenes in this video, particularly toward the end, are quite graphic in regards to hanging. So I just wanted you to be aware of that before you carry on with this video. If you're watching this video with people of a sensitive nature or like some kids, just be aware that at the end there are some little graphic bits and pieces, so enjoy. Little fun fact about this place: during World War I, the prison was used to hold national treasures, including the Doomsday Book and the Crown Jewels. How about that? Right, so we've just sorted our tickets out and we've just gone through this little turnstile which has counted us in, and we are now waiting for an introduction, so that's exciting.
And before I head off, little ones, keep an eye for Easter eggs at the moment.
Ooh.
If you count up how many you see and then go in the shop and let them know afterwards, there might be a surprise in it for you. So we're coming up to the 30-second mark, so I'll be leaving you guys to it, folks. After that counts down, something very special will be happening. So I'll see you guys soon.
The adventure begins. Make your way carefully downstairs.
This is very Haunted Mansion-esque, isn't it? Right, so we're not allowed to film in this bit, so I'm going to turn the camera off and we'll see you guys in a minute. What a phenomenal pre-show!
Yes, that was the Dark Walk.
The Dark Walk, so we couldn't film any of that, but that was sensational. AJ was a little bit...
Well, it was quite scary.
It was quite scary, wasn't it? So yeah, well now we continue on.
Into the cell.
Into the cells, into the jail itself. Oh dear, they don't look very well, do they? Pretty grim place. So cell conditions, 1759, so that's 20 years before this place was built. Prisoners were housed in dark, damp communal cells with up to 8 people in each cell. They slept on the cold stone floor with just straw spread around. Dear me, no wonder they had to change things. So this was the first jail in Britain to have individual cells. Oh dear, look at him. So in 1759, it was estimated that 1 in 4 prisoners died in jail. Died of typhoid, which was called jail fever. So this guy would have been the doctor, wearing that mask to keep himself safe from all the germs. It's like a plague mask, isn't it, from the medieval period? Huh. Basically, as you proceed around the cells, all these little placards are here giving you like a timeline story of the jail and I suppose jail reform. Children were in jail as well. They sometimes came in with their parents or mum or dad, if they had committed a crime, the child have to go in as well. Sometimes, if the children had broken the law, they'd have to be in jail too. Apparently he was 11 and he stole a blanket. So he ended up here, in this place. So here we are in one of the cells. A bucket there, I suppose, if you need a pee. Like a hammock-style bed. Yeah. So the man who gave the tour at the beginning said, get into one of these cells, flip your camera around and you have a selfie. So you can get some guided tours here. We've just opted for a self-tour where we can just bimble around ourselves and read the information. But for an upcharge, you can get a guided tour and be a part of that group behind me. It's a little bit dark, but you can see the gibbet with a skeleton inside. What a fate.
In the original incarnation, you had probably about 50 of these. So it's basically every single prisoner would have to stand on this and just tread pace, 50 of them at a time almost. And of course, one of the problems with that is, well, keeping pace. You're doing this for 8 hours, you have a 15-minute break, and that's that. So if you fail to keep pace, you're going to fall off, of course, and it's not going to stop. And of course, Oscar Wilde, he was quite famous. He was unfortunately sent to prison, wasn't he, back in the day. He was obviously a writer, not a walker. He was put on this, and unfortunately, there was some severe broken ankles after his feet went underneath. It was awful, really. And so you've got this one as well. Do you want to look at this one, actually? This is called the crank.
Oh.
You can do it. All you've got to do is grab hold of the handle and just turn that round. Keep going. Excellent. There you go. Brilliant. So, if you were a prisoner, did you do that to me 50,000 times? No, good, that's what I did, Yeah, that's generally what they did, of course, then. It was 50,000
Because all these punishments were pointless, weren't they? They didn't achieve anything. It was just
especially this one.
Yeah.
Especially this one. Because literally it was just like, just did that repeatedly.
That's right, just...
I mean, you think it would be... The only one that actually had any use is, believe it or not, that one down there. Oakum picking.
Yeah.
And so, of course, what they do with that is you'd basically, this was the old ropes from the ships and everything.
Yeah.
And so they'd have to, prisoners would have to come in, start picking it all apart, separating it all. A combination of like tar, obviously, which doesn't cut off your hands, and of course, in the sunshine would burn. And then, of course, sea salt and all that. So this would then be, once it was done, it was then recycled back in the ships.
Right.
So it didn't have any use whatsoever.
So this had a practical use for it, but...
apart from that, there was no real use to any of it.
Yeah, well, sounds good.
It's very atmospheric, very scary for little ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, AJ's a little bit freaked out, isn't he? Tilly, you're alright, aren't you, Tilly? But then, you know, Matilda. Prison hygiene. It was ruled that all prisoners except debtors should have a tepid bath once in every 3 months. It was reported in 1845 that the magistrates felt that one bath every 3 months was unnecessary and too high in frequency. It's a nice big model in the middle of this room.
See? Look, if you press these buttons, they'll blow up. These bits will blow up if you press these buttons.
Yeah, that's right. The execution shed. Ooh, so that's right at the back. Ooh. Shadowed out there, the admin building. Where's that to? You can see the admin building. Oh, there it is, in the middle of it. Alright, that's very cool. Alright, so we're done in that little section. Continue this way. Mind your head. So they have fitted a lift here if you need to use it. If you can't manage the stairs, then there is a lift which will take you up to this next section. And we go through here. Oh, that's bright. All right. Alright, cool. So continue this way. Back in the dark. Right, so this is the governor's office. A picture there of his domain. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning. How can I help you today?
Hello.
How are you doing today, Governor?
Oh, fine. Looking forward to a hanging this afternoon. Jail life. Bodmin Jail housed over 35,000 prisoners and employed more than 147 staff over its operational life. The jail underwent a series of design evolutions, with the original Georgian prison being replaced by a formidable Victorian institution. It was revolutionary for its time, offering prisoners individual cells and heating and ventilation systems supplying fresh air. Gosh. Look at all these keys on display. Look at this one. Look at the size of it. Here we have the Gatehouse Key. It's a replica of the Gatehouse Key, I should add. Some artifacts on display, some handcuffs, a truncheon. But what caught my eye was when it was renovated in 2006, they found a Mammoth Tooth. A Mammoth Tooth? What was that doing here? That's weird. So jail food was typically plain and dreary.
And a teapot.
Yeah, I can't say that would particularly appeal. So we think porridge and bread for breakfast. Some sort of like bean stew with some potatoes, I assume, and a bit of bread. And then we think maybe like a suet pudding with bread. Well, look, is that the beast of Bodmin Moor? This mysterious skull found over 100 years ago was found during demolition of the old hospital wing. Local legend says the beast was wounded and captured by the army and died in the jail cell. Could this be the beast of Bodmin Moor? My goodness. This place is really spooky.
These very spaces, you may kiss the bride. Do you feel the cold in their lifeless sorrow as they try to make contact? Within these very walls at Bodmin Jail, apparitions have risen, and visitors have felt and seen their presence. Shadows roam, and whispers fill these rooms. Their spirits long for forgiveness, but it never comes. They may be waiting at the window. They may prowl behind you, waiting to pounce. So many restless spirits. The prison walls are watching you, and there is nowhere to hide.
Okay, so this is supposed to be a really haunted place. I don't think there's 999 happy haunts here, but there's quite a few. So they say.
Watching on my wedding dress. God bless her broken neck. Selena murdered her. These very spaces, you may kiss the bride. Do you feel the cold in their lifeless sorrow as they try to make contact?
Push door to continue this way. That spooky rock is speaking to me. I think it's a speaker. But isn't it weird actually? It looks like a face.
Spirit.
Next show starts in 0 seconds. We might be about to witness an execution.
And the executioners have come to size up the condemned.
Cheesy, young man.
What would you say? 5'6", 5'7"?
They don't like to let on what they're up to. Might upset the condemned.
It's your point in time, lass.
Okay, so we've got some candles here for sale. A sort of Hessian sack. Some little bits and pieces, some mugs, of course. You have to get a mug, look at that. Engraved After Dark experience. Little coasters, little prints of like a little poster. Alright. Little t-shirt if you want one. Beast. Right, so
We're just going to head into the Jolly Hangman Tavern to get a drink.
the Jolly Hangman Tavern. So here's the drinks menu for the Jolly Hangman Tavern. Got some beer, cider, fizz, white rosé, red, etc. You've got some liquor, got rum, whiskey, gin. But I think we're just going to be aiming for a tea and a coffee, or a hot chocolate, something of that ilk. So this is quite a snappy looking establishment now. If memory serves, this used to be the gift shop. So it has been changed up here quite a lot. How's your apple juice?
Great.
Is it nice, AJ? Nice? Nice cup of coffee, actually. Yeah, you just went with tea, didn't you?
Yeah,
All good?
it's a nice loose leaf tea.
Yeah. Okay. Heading out of this grim institution. Right, so it's a couple of days later. We wanted to film the outro kind of like separate here, where we could actually think about it a bit more, because we had quite a lot to sort of process really, because it was a very, very different experience from when we last went. So when did we last go? We would have gone, it was definitely pre-pandemic, and I got a feeling it was pre-AJ.
So at least
So
4 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 3 plus years. Yeah.
They've obviously invested a lot of time, money and effort into the whole site.
Yeah.
So the hotel's finished now, which looks fabulous.
Yeah, so to put it into context, the hotel is relatively new. That opened up last year in 2021. And we hadn't seen the hotel before, had we? Like the walkthrough experience that I remember vividly was like you could go up like 2 or 3 stories of the original cells and blah blah blah. That was the section that had been taken over by the hotel. The bit where we walked around, where we looked at the cells, was part of the old naval wing, which up until the refurb was ruined. Completely ruined. It was open to the air and everything. So that was weird, and because I didn't recognise any of it, and we were talking to the man in there who was like our host, and he was that's what he was saying. I was like, well, that's, you know, I couldn't quite believe how much it had changed. So it had changed a lot.
So on entering Bodmin Jail, there's a large building to the left.
Yeah.
Your entrance where you get your tickets. Obviously we had pre-bought our tickets online, and then you start what they refer to as the Dark Walk.
Yeah, so there's like 2 sections now to the tour, isn't it?
So you've got the Dark Walk, which gives you a bit of the history of Bodmin, Cornwall, prisons.
Yeah, they touched on like tin mining, didn't they?
And some of the mythology around Cornwall and Bodmin Moor and things like that. At points, it was very, very scary, which we enjoyed.
Yeah, it was a super show.
AJ, who's 3, He was terrified. Tilly was okay. She's quite hardy when it comes to those sorts of things. She quite enjoys being scared.
Matilda.
So she was okay. She's 6, but she was fine.
Yeah.
But I know
struggled.
other 6-year-olds that would struggle with that. Tilly quite enjoys that kind of thing. So if you've got a morbid 6-year-old like us, you'll be fine. If they're a little bit more on the sensitive side of things, then just bear that in mind if you're going to go to Bodmin Jail.
Because they didn't really. There might have been some warnings on the fine print online that we didn't particularly read. But there was
nothing obvious.
There was no obvious warnings, and obviously the staff, great staff, super friendly, knowledgeable. But there were no like warnings to say you got a 3-year-old. Just be a little bit aware that.
And obviously we had booked tickets for 2 adults, a child, and an under 4. So we obviously had someone with us who was young.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a surprise on the day. They knew that was our booking.
Yeah. So it's to bear that in mind. If you visit Bodmin Jail with young kids, there are elements of it which are quite scary, really.
It seems depicting.
So at the end, again, even adults can be sensitive to that.
Yeah, but obviously it's a jail, a historical jail, and it talks about different punishments and things. So bear that in mind when you're going. I don't want to give too much away because
I was going to say
the surprise of what happens.
Yeah, no spoilers that.
But just bear in mind that there are depictions of hangings, depictions of other torture methods that may have happened at the time in jails. So
just be aware of that. Earlier in the video I did put a little, like a little warning just to say beware of this video.
However, it was a really good family day out. We really enjoyed it.
It was super fun. I felt that I think that we saw less of the jail than we did prior because the bigger section has been gobbled up by the hotel. But that said, I think with the investment, like I said, the Dark Walk, I kind of termed it as like a pre-show, but it's that type of thing. That added immensely, in my opinion, to Bodmin Jail. I thought that it made it into, it was almost Disney-esque. If anyone's been to Disney, it is the benchmark of like theme parks, amusement parks and attractions. And actually I would say that, hello cat, I would say that actually that pre-show was almost like Disney-esque. I think it was really good. They asked us not to film that, or not us specifically, it was just the general thing, wasn't it, the announcement that they gave. So where the restaurant is now, I think the upstairs restaurant is still there, but that's possibly now being gobbled up by the hotel. But where we sat and had a cup of coffee, that used to be the gift shop. Yeah. And I was chatting to the man in there, and he was saying, I think he said it was either 63 million or 67 million pounds. I think 63, but one of those two was the investment that Bodmin Jail had, which
is the hotel plus
huge amount of money. Yeah.
The day out.
Yeah, I was going to say everything there in the attraction total, along with the hotel. We'd love to stay in that hotel one day. It's quite costly. We actually did look at the cost, didn't we? But maybe for like a Halloween video. No spoilers. Although I've just spoiled that, but I don't think that won't be happening this year. Don't get excited about our Halloween vlogs because we won't be staying at Bodmin Jail this year. So what a fantastic experience! I would go again.
I'd go again.
The kids, certainly half the kids enjoyed it. Anyways, Matilda enjoyed it. AJ not so much. If I remember rightly, our guide was called Carl. He was great, really knowledgeable, so shout out to him. We're going to leave the video there. Do hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up. Do subscribe to The Bright Side, it really does help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell and you'll never miss out on any video that we post. We are on social media.
Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at The Bright Side.
So do check us out there. So from us to you, and the cat, cheers.
Cheers
and gone.
And gone.